The Los Angeles Lakers will be without LeBron James for at least their first 5 regular season games as he deals with sciatica. If the Lakers weren't already Luka Doncic's team, they certainly are now, and James is all but guaranteed to spend his final seasons playing second fiddle. Of course, his being an excellent player into his 40s is a massive accomplishment that should be celebrated, but seeing him go out behind Doncic will certainly be odd. James could demand a trade, although the Lakers' hands are tied, and they can't realistically send him to a premier destination. If he wants to compete for a title in his final seasons, he must stay with the Lakers. LeBron James urged to stay with LA Lakers. If James were to demand a trade, Los Angeles would almost guarantee it, provided that his destination is able to play ball. He is expected to remain elite this season despite his injuries and advanced age. However, there are only a handful of players who can drag an underwhelming team to the finals. James is no longer on that level. In order to ensure he goes out with some grace and dignity, he must remain on the Lakers. The only thing LeBron James needs to be thinking about, as far as I'm concerned, is retiring as a Los Angeles Laker, declared Bomani Jones on his self-titled podcast. With a title in Hollywood and 7 All-NBA nods to his name with the Lakers, James could have his jersey retired by the Cleveland Cavaliers, Miami Heat, and Lakers. However, if he demands a trade, he could end up having a Michael Jordan on the Wizards or Shaquille O'Neal on the Celtics moment that does absolutely nothing to protect his legacy as the best to ever do it. LeBron James urged to go on a retirement tour. If James doesn't announce his retirement before Christmas, it stands to reason that he is expecting to play at least one more season. Kobe Bryant and Jordan each got their farewell tours, and James would want to go out on a similar note. The only way for a man in LeBron's position to guarantee that he don't go out sad is to announce before a season you're going to do your tour and just go on about your business, Jones added. This approach is not the way to wind down your career. I don't think this is going to play the way that he wants it to play. Next summer, James will be an unrestricted free agent and can sign with any team. If he makes it clear that he is willing to take significantly less than a maximum deal, all 30 teams will line up for his services. Staying in Los Angeles next to Doncic would make a lot of sense, as would signing back with the Cavaliers or the Dallas Mavericks to reunite with some of his best all-time teammates. If it were up to Luka Doncic, he would have ended his career where it all started, with the Dallas Mavericks. He was the rare superstar who did not request a trade to the Los Angeles Lakers, but he ended up in Hollywood anyway. Last season, in 28 games with the Lakers, Doncic averaged 28.2 points, 8.1 rebounds, and 7.5 assists. Those would be career numbers for most players. For Doncic, it was a down season. He was dealing with the trade, a lingering calf injury, and, admittedly, poor conditioning. However, all of that is in the review mirror, and 2025-26 is expected to be the year of Luka. Luka Doncic is happy with Los Angeles Lakers. Last season, any shortcomings from Doncic were usually chalked up to his injury or poor conditioning, which was cited as justification for the deal in the first place. Overlooked was the stress he was under. Role players can expect to be traded without notice. Superstars? Rarely, and Doncic was seen as one of the most untouchable players in the NBA. He loved Dallas, and Dallas loved him. As he prepares for his first full season with the Lakers, his new teammates are seeing a version of him that was hidden last season. "It's awesome," said Austin Reeves on October 14th. "I think it's just the overall happiness that he has, joking around every day, building real relationships with everybody." Doncic signed a 3-year, $165 million contract extension with Los Angeles this summer. In 2028, he can negotiate an even bigger deal, keeping him in LA even longer. "When you have that situation, y'all didn't think it was going to happen," Reeves added. "We didn't think it was going to happen. He didn't think it was going to happen. When something like that happens, it's shocking. It's going to take time to figure your feelings out." Doncic dazzled in preseason debut for Lakers. Despite a down year last season, Doncic doesn't really have much to prove. He remains an international superstar, one of the best players in the league. In the Lakers' most recent preseason loss to the Phoenix Suns, Doncic made his first appearance since Eurobasket, posting a quick 25 points and 7 rebounds. He managed to hit shots all over the court. He missed the first 4 games with a knee contusion suffered in Eurobasket, although it didn't stop him from putting on a one-man show for Slovenia. The injury, in short, is not serious and will not keep him out to start the regular season. The same can't be said for LeBron James, who is dealing with sciatica. He won't suit up for the October 21st season opener against the Golden State Warriors. At 40 years old, LeBron James continues to defy the conventional limitations of age in professional basketball. However, the recent announcement of a sciatica injury that will sideline him for his first-ever season opener has ignited discussions about his future. The injury, coupled with a range of other factors, has led some analysts to speculate that James might consider retirement before the season concludes. Injury concerns fuel retirement talk. Christopher Klein from Fansided has weighed in on the situation, positing that if the Lakers fail to maximize their potential this season, LeBron may choose to step away from the game. LeBron doesn't need this anymore, Klein remarked, highlighting the uncertainty surrounding the Lakers' competitive prospects. With the team's defense expected to rely heavily on DeAndre Ayton, who has yet to prove he can anchor the unit effectively, Klein suggests that the lack of support could lead James to reevaluate his commitment to the sport. Klein anticipates that LeBron will recognize the limitations of the current roster before the season reaches its midpoint. He predicts that the star will announce his intention to retire, shifting his focus to celebrating his illustrious career while making one last push for success on the court. Defensive woes and roster changes. The Lakers have attempted to bolster their roster this offseason, signing Marcus Smart, a former Defensive Player of the Year, alongside Jake LaRavia and Ayton. While Smart's presence brings defensive accolades, questions linger about whether he can maintain his effectiveness, particularly given his recent injury history. Furthermore, the Lakers' other key defender, Jared Vanderbilt, also struggles with health issues, casting doubt on the team's ability to hold opponents at bay. As the Lakers prepare for the upcoming season, the weight of these defensive challenges looms large. The team may find itself in a precarious position, especially as star player Luka Doncic remains a formidable force in the league. If the Lakers cannot rise to the occasion, it may prompt James to consider his future sooner rather than later. A season of uncertainty. With the start of the season approaching, the landscape surrounding LeBron James is fraught with uncertainty. As he manages his health and navigates a roster that poses more questions than answers, the implications for his career grow increasingly complex. As retirement speculation swirls, one thing remains clear: James's legacy will continue to be a topic of discussion as long as he is on the court, and this season may very well determine the final chapter of his illustrious journey.